Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing joining us around the world, it's showtime!
So much power, so much intensity in the punches.
Right hand by Wolf. Up to the fight. Wobbles Kovalev.
Bad. I told you he was weak, Jeff.
And new unified light heavyweight champion of the world, still undefeated, Andre S.O.G.
Come on, man. I'm the face of boxing.
Talk from the side.
But you
Why
talk
you gotta talk? Ain't nobody talking from the side. Why you gotta
Well,
talk?
talk to me.
It don't matter.
Talk to him.
Tell your
Talk
nigga
to
to be
me.
quiet.
Talk to me. Don't
Tell your
talk to
nigga to be
him.
quiet.
Talk to me.
Tell your nigga to be
Talk
quiet.
to me.
Tell your nigga to be
All right,
quiet.
now you talk to me.
Tell your nigga to be
Back to
quiet.
what we were talking about.
I'm the dog with the vision. I'm the boogeyman.
You can't be the
Everybody
boogeyman
know.
if I'm
I'm that
chasing
guy.
you.
Everyone know I'm that guy.
You're not that guy.
I'm that guy.
As we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man.
Are you kidding me? The undefeated number 7 pound-for-pound fighter is not coming out to continue against Loma. Beaten down, hopeless, without an answer, and Lomachenko has made Rigondeaux quit. Bud Crawford is the undefeated, undisputed champion of the world.
The winner, now the unified champion, still the reigning and defending IBF heavyweight champion of the world, the fighting pride of all England, AJ Anthony.
Your winner by majority decision and new.
Clubbing left hand by Wilder. Down goes Ortiz for the second time in the fight. Bombs away from the bronze bomber. Wilder again batting Luis Ortiz. There it is. A minute left. Right uppercut, and it's over. Mamma mia, Deontay Wilder.
What's good with your fam? Welcome to Big Faces Worldwide, where we talk nothing but this boxing, man. Hey, listen, man, this is the final round, man, and I appreciate it. I like to thank you all for tuning in, man, and if you're new here, I want you to be here, so I want you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button as we stay knee deep into this boxing conversation, man. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure everything is copacetic and working to high standards, and we will begin the show, man. Okay, yeah, everything is looking good. Everything is sounding good, man. Hey, listen, man, we had a great weekend of fights, man. We had the monster, Inoue. He showed us why he is called the monster. We had Josh Taylor, who eases by Ivan Baranchyk, in my opinion. We also had Gary Russell Jr., who beat up the punching bag Kiko Martinez, and also the destruction of DOMINIC BREAZEALE by Deontay Wilder, man. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But first, I want to talk about Keith One-Time Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. The fight has been officially announced. It will go down July 20th in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. I'm looking forward to this fight, man. I've been talking about this fight since they first started sniffing around it. Since they first said that it's a possibility, man. I've been talking about this fight, man. Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao is a very good matchup, man. And it pisses me off. It makes me upset when I hear these people talk about Josecito Lopez and Keith Thurman. They talk about Keith Thurman's performance with Josecito Lopez. You know what I'm saying? That pisses me off, man, because, Keith Thurman was out of the ring for what? 2 years. Down there 2 years, man. You know what I'm saying? He comes in, he dominates Josecito Lopez early on in the fight. You know what I mean? Drops him in the second round, and just shines on him, stunts on him through 1 through 6. And then in the 7th round, he get overconfident, get a little careless, and gets caught and gets hurt. But the champion that Keith Thurman is, he didn't go down. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get knocked out. He persevered, man. He overcame adversity, buckled his chin strap, tied up his boots in between rounds, and came out and finished the fight. You understand what I'm saying? And he won the fight. So when people bring up that Josecito Lopez, you got to remember the guy's been out 2 years. The guy's had, elbow surgery, hand surgery. So, you know what I'm saying, you cannot count that on Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? You cannot count that performance against him. Other than the 7th round and maybe a round or two afterwards, Keith Thurman looked very good against Josecito Lopez. So I don't want to keep tearing that Keith fell off, man, just because the guy got married. You know what I'm saying? You might see him playing a flute up in the mountains or something, man. But sometimes people like to do some strange things, man. That does not mean one time can't get in there and box. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy West, what's good with you, fam? I appreciate you tuning in, man. Talking about Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao being officially announced July 20th, going down at the MGM Grand. They're trying to put a big card together, man, because they're going to make that fight a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? And in order to make that a successful pay-per-view, you're going to have to add some names that people want to see, man. And the fights that I'm hearing about is Omar Figueroa going up against Yordenis Ugas, which is a pretty decent fight, man. It's a pretty decent fight. I'm not sure which weight it'll be at. Omar Figueroa, he signs the contract for 140, and then as, a couple days before the weigh-in, he realized he can't make weight, and, he negotiates with his opponent and then makes a different weight, man. So, hopefully this fight's at 147. I do believe Ugas is the bigger man. And, what they say about these fights is you can only judge a fighter off of his last performance. So if you comparing, excluding Keith Thurman was out 2 years, so we ain't talking about that. But a fighter that's been active, you know what I'm saying, a fighter that's, that's been fighting, you can only judge a fighter off his last performance. And Yordenis Ugas, he looked pretty good against Sean Porter. A lot of people thought he won that fight. You know what I'm saying? He did not get the nod on the scorecards, but, there's a lot of people that walked away from that fight saying that Sean Porter received a gift. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Omar Figueroa's performance against John Molina, he did not look good at all, man. In fact, he looked horrendous, if I'm being honest here. He looked horrendous, man. He got hit with a lot of shots that, had a fighter with more power hit him. You know what I'm saying? It could have caused some trouble for Omar Figueroa, man. But, it's a fight that I wouldn't mind seeing. I wouldn't mind seeing it just because, I've been hearing all this hype. There's been a lot of hype about Omar Figueroa. You know what I'm saying? And I have not seen what everybody's so hyped up about. You know what I mean? I watched about 4 or 5 of his fights. I'm not a big Omar Figueroa connoisseur, as to say. You know what I'm saying? I have not watched him for years and years and years, but I've watched about 4 or 5 of his fights, man. And, I'm not 100% impressed. You know what I'm saying? I think he fights a little sloppy to me. You know what I mean? Yes, he throws a lot of punches. I think he has no defense. He gets hit way too much. My man Clabo, Little Duke Boy, what's good with your fam? He says Wilder was focused. No doubt we're going to get into Wilder later on in the show. But, yeah, man, I thought that Omar Figueroa, he got hit way too much, man. Way too much for my liking. His technique is a little sloppy. His punches are a little wide. They're not straight down the pike. You understand what I'm saying? And, if that fight is made with Ordenis Ugas. I do believe Ordenis Ugas will get the victory. You know what I mean? Although I think it'll be an ugly fight. You know what I'm saying? Being that their styles, or both of the styles will make an ugly fight, in my opinion. Mimi Daddy, what's good with your fam? Appreciate you in the house, man. Appreciate you in the house. Mimi Danny says, what's up, homie? Shout out to you in the channel. No doubt, I appreciate it. Hey, man, as y'all come on in, once y'all hit the like button for your man, I definitely appreciate it, man. Also, they talking about having Caleb Plant on that card. I forget the guy who he's going to fight, but I do not believe it's going to be a top 5 contender. What belt do we have? I forget what belt Caleb Plant has, man. The WBA, I think. Whatever belt he has, man. I don't think that his opponent is going to be a top opponent. You understand what I'm saying? But I'm looking forward to the fight, man. I'm definitely looking forward to the fight. Keith Thurman, Keith Thurman is the fight that I really want to see. You know what I mean? Before Keith Thurman went out, before Keith Thurman's hiatus, Keith Thurman was definitely my favorite welterweight. Absolutely. No doubt about it. I was rocking with Keith. I don't care who he fought. You know what I'm saying? Don't make a difference who he fought. I was with Keith. You know what I'm saying? But, he's been off, man. And people, not too sure of what he can do. You know what I mean? People don't know if he's the same Keith Thurman. I don't know if he's the same Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he will be the same Keith Thurman, but I know that he has been calling out Manny Pacquiao for some time. You know what I'm saying? He's wanted this fight. He has wanted this fight. He has called for this fight. He has wanted this fight, and he's finally got it. So I think Keith Thurman will show up for this fight, 100% in shape, 100% focused, and we'll see the one time that we'll usually see. One time goes in that ring, man, and he has that power. People said that, he hasn't knocked anybody else out in a long time at 147. As the competition level rises, you know what I mean, you're not going to be knocking everybody out. But I'll tell you this, go back and watch each of his fights. Every fight that Keith Thurman was in, his opponent either was stunned, his opponent either hit the canvas, or his opponent either was knocked out. So Keith Thurman's power is definitely still there. And we all know how great Manny Pacquiao is, man. I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. Let me add that in there while I'm praising Keith Thurman. I'm a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. But Manny Pacquiao is 40 years old, man. Manny Pacquiao is past his prime, and he's definitely slowed down a bit. And when you look at everything from the outside looking in, Manny Pacquiao is not a natural welterweight. So for the first time in a long time, Keith Thurman will be coming into the fight as the much bigger welterweight. You understand what I'm saying? I think that his size will play a part into this fight. Now Broner, you know what I'm saying? Broner didn't do what he was supposed to do. Broner did not do what he was supposed to do. And Keith Thurman, he ain't going to fight like Broner. So you might as well, if you're looking for that type of fight, you might as well forget it. Because, we ain't going to have that type of fight, man. You know what I mean? Keith Thurman's going to let his hands go. Keith Thurman's going to lay it on the line, man. Let me see what we got in the chat, man. This chat is going too fast, man. Give me 1 second, man. We're going to get to the chat, man. But I'm looking forward to this fight, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I cannot see it right now. I'm on a different screen, but when I hit back to that screen, I'm going to shout you guys out, man. Definitely appreciate y'all coming in, man. But yeah, that fight's going down July 20th out there in Vegas. My cousin Capri's birthday on July 20th. You know what I mean? So that's a beautiful day, man. But let's talk about the World Boxing Super Series. You know what I mean? The World Boxing Super Series and the Monster Inoue, huh? The Monster Inoue, man. He went in there and he put hands on Gonzalez. Manny Gonzalez. People thought Manny Gonzalez was going to be a real tough test for Inoue. You know what I'm saying? Now, first round, it looked like it would be. You know, it looked like it would be a very tough test, man. In fact, I would say that, you know, somebody could say that, you know, Inoue lost that first round. It was very competitive, highly competitive. You know what I'm saying? But Inoue went back to the corner, sat down on the stool, and I don't know what happened, man. He transformed into something else, into the monster that they call him. He transformed into the monster. He came out there in round 2, man, and put them hands all over Manny Gonzalez, man. Inoue's the real deal. Inoue's the real deal. I got my man Mimi Danny, man. He's in the chat. Let me see what Mimi Danny's talking about. Mimi Danny says, and Keith Thurman is going to spank Manny Pacquiao, man. A lot of people is with you. Keith Thurman is actually the favorite in this fight, man. This will probably be the first time in a long time that Manny Pacquiao's coming into the fight as an underdog. He also says, don't let the last performance fool you. You couldn't even get up for that opponent. When he's facing Pacquiao, he's going to be up and alive like electricity. Brianna, my baby, what's good with you, baby girl? She says, what's up with the big face shirt? Hey, you know I got you. They on the order. My man, Collabo 100, Lil Duke Boy is on the job. I got them shirts coming. You know what I mean? Mimi Danny says, Pac-Man is done. Stick a fork in him, huh? Say he's food. Put him on the plate. Serve him up for dinner. Regis Prograis, he's already won. Josh Taylor got nothing for him. I'm about to get to that in a minute, man. But first, let me finish giving Inoue his props, man. I think Inoue, a lot of people putting the monster on the pound-for-pound list. I think it's a little premature for that. Although he is showing signs of being, you know, a very, very great talent, man. I do think it's a little early to put him in there, man, because we have not seen him face no type of adversity, man. Everybody he's fought, he's going in there and just blew him out, man. I mean, he has that power like Deontay Wilder, that power, that one-punch concussive power that would knock your ass out, man. Not many boxers are gifted with that, man. But Inoue is one of those guys, man, and he's styled on Manny Rodriguez, man, and he looked good doing it, man. Now he's going up. He got to go up against the veteran, man. He got to go up against the veteran, Nonito Donaire. You know, I'm real happy for Nonito, man. You know, if you look at his career, he has so many ups and downs, man. He's been all around the sport of boxing, man. And for Nonito to be in this position that he is in, man, is absolutely unbelievable, man. Hats off to Donaire. You know, Donaire got in the ring with him after the matchup, and Donaire looked way bigger than him. You know what I mean? I know size really don't mean nothing, but it don't mean nothing all the time. But he looked way bigger than him, and we know Donaire, he packs a punch also. You know what I'm saying? He packs a punch also. So, you know, we will see what's up with that fight, man. I can't wait. And I'm really looking forward to it. But now let's get to the other fight from the World Boxing Super Series, and that is Josh Tornado Taylor. He was able to defeat Ivan Baranchyk for his IBF title, man. Now, this fight right here, man, I'm going to tell you this, man. I watched the fight. I live streamed during the fight. You know, me and the guys in the chat, you know, it seemed like we was all on one accord. It was a very close fight. Josh Taylor came out there in first 2 rounds. He was styling. He was styling on Ivan Baranchyk, man. I mean, he was putting hands all over him, putting paws all on his face, man. He looked good. It looked like he was going to outclass Baranchyk. But Baranchyk started coming up. He started coming back, man. He started coming back, you know, and for a couple rounds, and then he got hurt. I forget what round he got hurt in, man. Let me see. I got my scorecard right here. You know what I'm saying? I keep it handy. You understand me? I keep it handy. Let me see what round that was, man. What round did he knock him down in? He knocked him down in the 6th round. So Josh Taylor came out. He won round 1, round 1, 2. He won the first 2 rounds. I gave Baranchik the 3rd round. I gave Josh Taylor the 4th round. I gave Baranchik the 5th round. And then we had that 10-8 round for Josh Taylor in the 6th, where he got knocked down at. But after that, man, Baranchik, you know what I'm saying, he really put his foot on the gas, man. He put the pedal to the metal, and he started pressing Josh Taylor, man. I gave him round 7, 8, and 9. You understand me? He was really he was styling on Josh Taylor. It seemed like Josh Taylor ran out of gas. He got tired during those later rounds. He got tired. He looked disinterested, and at points it looked like he was just trying to finish the fight. You know what I'm saying? But he had spurts in those rounds where he looked as sharp. He looked as good. Josh Taylor got some of the best body work in the sport of boxing, man. He was going down to Ivan Baranchik's body so goddamn good, man. Like his glove was disappearing in the side of Baranchik's side, man, the solar plexus, man. But Baranchik was so ripped up and so strong down there that it did not affect him, man. It did not affect him. But yeah, I think Josh Taylor got, I think he got tired in those later rounds, man. And he got a gift, in my opinion. Well, he didn't get a gift. Let me clear that up. It was a close fight. I scored the fight 113-114 for Baranchik. That's how close I had it. The judges actually had, I believe one judge had it 117 to 109, 111. I forget how it was, but it was wide, way wide, too wide for my likings. The other 2 judges had it the same. I believe it was 115, something like that. But the score was way too wide, in my opinion. They was in Glasgow, Scotland, which is Josh Taylor's home. You know what I mean? So there may have been a little home cooking in there, man. But I did not see that scorecard being as wide as it was, man. You know what I mean? I mean, those rounds were close, so I could see if you gave the nod to Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do it, but I could see how the judges would. I could see how some fans would, because those rounds was close. But 117, 109, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. It was in Glasgow, Scotland, which is the hometown of Josh Taylor, man. And, that's all I'm going to say about that, man. But Regis Prograis, Josh Taylor will now face Regis Prograis in the World Boxing Super Series Finals, man. It's the fight everybody knew was going to happen. We knew it was going to be these last 2 men standing. And I liked how Regis Prograis got in the ring, and him and Josh Taylor was nose to nose. Looked like they had a couple words, had a couple harsh things to say to each other. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Just by observing the fight between Josh Taylor and Ivan Baranchik, Regis Prograis, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a very good fight. Josh Taylor, let me say this before I say what I'm about to say and people get they panties in a bunch. Let me say this and make this abundantly clear. Josh Taylor is an excellent, superb boxer. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely an elite 140-pound fighter. The cream of the crop, no doubt about it. But with that said, in that fight with Baranchik, it showed me different things that before this fight I didn't see. You know what I'm saying? Before this fight, when I thought about Regis Prograis fighting Josh Taylor, I didn't know who to root for. I didn't know who to pick. I didn't know who would win. You understand what I'm saying? But after watching that fight, watching how Josh Taylor's body language was late in that fight, those last couple rounds, watching how he got fatigued, watching how he seemed to be disinterested in fighting, I didn't like that. I didn't like that, fam. And Josh Taylor going up against Regis Prograis, I'm going to go out there, I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to say this right now, and you heard this here, you heard it first on Big Faces Worldwide, man. You heard it first. You know what I'm saying? So when this fight happens later on in the summer, you can come back to the stream and you can say, God damn, Big Will said that shit on Big Faces Worldwide live stream on the final round, episode 2. He said that Regis Prograis would knock out Josh Taylor late in the fight. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. He's going to sleep Josh Taylor, man. Josh Taylor, you know what I mean? I've seen great things from him in the past. I've seen him shine on people. I've seen him stun on people. But that fight with Ivan Baranchyk was a really, really tough fight for Josh Taylor to get through. You know what I'm saying? And Regis Prograis is a monster in himself. I believe he hits harder than Ivan Baranchyk. I believe he's more skilled than Ivan Baranchyk. And I believe that, you know, he's going to stop Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? My man Mimi Danny says Josh Taylor is going to get tsunamied by Regis Prograis. He is going to drown Regis Prograis, best 140-pounder out there. Whoa. I'm a little confused, Mimi Danny. I'm a little confused. Who do you have as the best? Am I reading this right or am I reading this wrong? Who do you have as the best 140-pounder? Are you saying Josh Taylor is the best 140-pounder and he's going to drown the Rougarou, or are you saying the opposite? Clarify yourself, fam. We got to straighten this out, man. We got to get this thing straight before we move on, Mimi Danny. Who you talking about, fam? Let's get it right now. You still there? Oh, he might have stepped off, man. But like I said, I see my man Regis Prograis stopping him, man. I see him stopping him. Easy work. Easy work. You know what I mean? But, you know, Josh Taylor's tough. You know what I'm saying? But in my opinion, he's just not on Regis Prograis' level, man. Regis Prograis is the best 140-pounder out there, man. Lewis Coleman done slid in here, man. What's up with you, fam? Huh? Lewis Coleman said those cards for Josh Taylor was terrible. The fight was much closer. Regis going to smoke Taylor's boots. Easy work. No doubt about it, man. Lewis Coleman, you know what I'm saying? We always be on one accord, fam. You know what I'm saying? We always are on one accord. You know what I mean? And, you know, 9 times out of 10, we be right. 9 times out of 10, we be right, man. But, you know, like I said, I'm looking forward to that fight, man. Should be a hell of a fight later on this summer, man, for the marbles, the IBF title, and also the WBC title, which is now held by Regis Prograis. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's talk about this PBC card. Let's get on to this guy who I call Little Gary Russell. Now, he calls himself Mr. Gary Russell. Little Gary Russell, man, he is the WBC champion. He could fight. He got skills to pay the bills. Some say that he got the fastest hands in the business. You understand what I'm saying? But the guy has fought 4 times since 2015. Now, the excuse of him fighting, you know, such infrequently. I've heard him say this plenty of times, and I'm sure some of you in the chat may have heard it also. The excuse of him fighting so infrequently was because of his hands. He's always been known to have brittle hands, to have hand problems. Now, all of a sudden, the last couple weeks he's been, I never heard him talk so much, man. But Little Gary Russell has stated that the reason why he's only fought 4 times since 2015. Now, this is 2019. This is WBC champion. The WBC allows this nonsense. Now, he says the reason why he has fought 4 times, only 4 times since 2015, is because none of the other top guys would fight him. That's what he said. I call bullshit. Yeah, I call bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Little Gary Russell got a big mouth, man. And I like Gary Russell, man, but he rubbed me the wrong way when he started talking about my guy. I'm always keep saying this, man. And those of you familiar with my channel, y'all know that Gervonta Tank Davis is my guy, man. Baltimore, Maryland. I got a lot of family in Baltimore. I'm in Baltimore at least 2 times a year, and that's the home of Gervonta Tank Davis. Now, Little Gary Russell says that he wants smoke with Gervonta Davis. He's acting like Gervonta Davis is scared of little Gary Russell. And again, I call bullshit. You understand what I'm saying? Now, if you watch the fight, I said this before, and I'm going to keep on saying it. You watch the fight, not this fight with Gary Russell, but his last fight, last year against Jojo Diaz. Jojo Diaz was a bigger guy, man. Jojo Diaz was giving Gary Russell the business early on. Gary Russell could not handle his power, could not handle his size. When Jojo Diaz would punch Gary Russell, his whole body would lift up off the canvas, would lift up off the mat. His whole body would move when Jojo Diaz would punch him. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a second, and imagine if that was Gervonta Tank Davis putting that left hand on Gary Russell Jr. Night, man. It's over. Night. But you notice how ever since Gervonta Davis came out with that last tweet saying that he would love to get all these guys talking shit, he would love to get them in the room, close the door, and beat they ass. He said he's not friends with none of them. He's not playing games with none of them. Ever since then, man, Gary Russell has got quiet. He hasn't mentioned Tank's name. He keep talking about Leo Santa Cruz, man, and I think that's the best course of action for him. You better go after Leo Santa Cruz and leave that boy Gervonta Tank Davis alone, man, because Gervonta Tank Davis, as long as he's focused, man, if he can stay disciplined, he can stay active, I do believe that Gervonta Tank Davis could be one of the best fighters in the world. You understand what I'm saying? He got to stay out of trouble, man. And Floyd and Leonard Ellerbe, TMT Promotions, they got to stop babying him, man. They have to put him in there with somebody real. Now Leonard has promised this, man. He got to fight his mandatory in Baltimore July 27th. You know what I'm saying? He's going to defend his title then. But later on this year, Leonard Ellerbe has promised that he's going to put Tank in there with a unification. He's going to look for a unification bout. So hopefully Leonard Ellerbe is going to be a man of his word, and we can all finally see Tank step up to elite competition so we can all see if he really got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going off by the eyeball test. Tank got it, man. The way he disposes of these people, man, is incredible. Is incredible, man. You understand what I'm saying? He goes in there and beats the snot out of these dudes, man. Beats the brakes off of these dudes, man. Easy work, man. And I think it's going to continue, whether he fight an elite fighter or whether he fight, a mandatory, man. I'm looking for him to fight Burchelt. I'm looking for him to fight Tevin Farmer. Lomachenko says he'll come back down. In my opinion, this is my opinion. Everybody got one. They're like assholes. Everybody got one. I think Gervonta Tank Davis smokes all of them. Anything from 126 to 135, in my humble opinion, Gervonta Tank Davis knocks everybody out. Everybody out. Mimi Danny, I see my okay fam. I see you. You cleared that up. I was a little shaky about what you meant, fam. He said Regis Prograis is the best at 140, no doubt about it. But I like Maurice Hooker too. Maurice Hooker ain't to be slept on, man. He is not to be slept on, man. Lewis Coleman says, I see that fight going 6 to 8 rounds before Taylor goes down. I like that, man. I like that, man, and I agree with you. Mimi Danny says, big faces, can I get some acknowledgement? I think I'm saying the same thing you're saying, brother. Regis Prograis all the way. No doubt, Mimi Danny. You know me and you was like, brothers from another mother, man. I'm with you. Lewis Coleman says, Gary Russell hasn't did enough yet. He hasn't fought by a few times. Russell's name isn't big enough so he can relax. Exactly, man. And he walks around so cocky and arrogant, like he's done everything that he needs to do to prove himself, and he hasn't. He hasn't, man. You know what I'm saying? He stepped up and fought Lomachenko. He took an L. You know what I'm saying? He wants the rematch. I have not seen enough of Gary Russell, or even I've not seen a drastic improvement that would lead me to believe that Gary Russell would have any different outcome with Vasyl Lomachenko, man. So he can stop that talk as well. You know what I mean? He can stop that talk as well. My man Lewis Coleman says Davis would sleep Russell, easy work. And I think it wouldn't go past 5 rounds, man. Tank would jump on his ass. Gary Russell cannot keep him off of him. He's too little. He got a little pop for them guys down there at 126. He beat up Kiko Martinez, but we all know Kiko Martinez. He's been knocked out by Scott Quigg. He's been knocked out by Leo Santa Cruz. He's been knocked out by Carl Frampton. I mean, Kiko Martinez, it ain't hard to beat up on punching bag Kiko Martinez. So that's not a real big accomplishment for Gary Russell, man. I mean, that cut on his eye did look real nasty. You know what I'm saying? I give him credit for it, man. But I'm not overly impressed with Gary Russell Jr., man. Mimi Danny says Gary Russell better calm his old self down. Take a beat the brakes off of them. Take a beat the brakes off of the ring, off of them inside the ring and out. No question, Mimi Danny. Lewis Coleman says Davis would knock his head off and play kickball with it. No bullshit. Lewis also says Tank isn't going to keep getting away with losing weight. He is young, but if he wants a long career, he has to stay disciplined. You ain't lying, man. You know what I mean? All that going up and down and weight in between fights, eventually it's going to catch up with him. Like, I seen a recent photo, you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it was recent or if it was old, man. But it looked like he had a beer belly already, man. He just fought. The dude just fought, what, a month or so ago? How the hell you gain all that weight in such a short amount of time? I'm like, come on, Tank, man. Get it together, man. You know what I mean? You want to party and, you know, you want to be a superstar, a rap star, and hang in a club and make it rain and all that shit there, man. And when you got the potential to be one of the greats in the sport of boxing, man, you know what I mean? It's disappointing, man. It's disappointing. You know, I hope he gets it together, man, because like I said, that's one of my favorite fighters, man. That is definitely one of my favorite fighters, man. And, you know, I think Tank, you know, sleeps everything at near his weight class. You know what I mean? But Gary Russell, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not totally convinced with Gary Russell. I'm not totally convinced at all. You know what I'm saying? But now, let's talk about the one and only, man. Let's talk about the performance of the weekend, man. The event that's got everybody talking, has everybody and their mama tuned in, man, to the one and only Bomb Squad Bronze Bomber Deontay Wilder. All I can say is, wow. You know what I mean? Wow. Deontay Wilder came in there, man. He was stunting with his ring entrance, man. You never seen a guy with you know, his ring attire like that, man. That shit was fly, man. That shit was fly. Had the mask on with the diamonds on it, man. That ring, you know, his outfit was fire. You know what I'm saying? He came in like he always do, man. Deontay Wilder always coming in styling, man. When he first entered the building, he and his whole entourage had on all black. I mean, they was clean, man. They was clean. I mean, they were so sharp. If they fall, they would cut themselves. That's how sharp they was, man. They was coming. His wife, his little baby, his partners, everybody had on black because they said they was coming to a funeral. They said they was coming to a funeral, man. Mimi Danny says, Bomb Squad all day. Best heavyweight in the world right now. Anthony Joshua don't want no smoke. That's what Mimi Danny says, man. But Dominic Breazeale, he was talking a whole lot leading up to this matchup, man. I mean, he was talking a whole lot leading up to this matchup, man. You know, he made it personal. He made it personal, you know what I mean? He started it, you know what I'm saying? He started it in Alabama, Deontay Wilder's hometown. You know what I'm saying? They had a fight in Deontay Wilder's hometown a couple years ago. So, you know, the media doing as media does, they provoked, they tricked Dominic Breazeale to talk trash on Deontay Wilder. And Dominic Breazeale, he was going in. I mean, he was talking big shit. You understand what I'm saying? But somehow, some way, it got back to the Deontay Wilder. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder runs into him in the lobby. Breazeale happens to be with his wife, happens to be with his children. Deontay Wilder, like a man, steps to him and asked him about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I know to be true. Now, the rest is up for interpretation. The rest is up for debate. But things got out of hand. There was a scuffle. There was blows thrown. And I don't know what happened. But it became very personal. That man's wife and children was there. And things got out of hand. You know what I'm saying? Things got out of hand, so, you know what I'm saying, I'm not sure what happened. So Dominic Breazeale had a vendetta ever since then. He's been calling out Deontay Wilder every single chance he's get from that time until now, saying what he going to do to him, how he wants him, calling Wilder a bum, saying he can't fight, saying he, you know what I mean, calling him nothing, calling him a loser, calling him a piece of garbage, saying that he needs an urban dictionary to understand the words that are coming out of his mouth. Do you hear me, man? He talked himself into this ass whooping. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder got up in that ring, man. First of all, the man put on, 13 pounds, 11 pounds of muscle. He looked it big as hell. He looked it good. Before this fight, he said he was going back to the basics. Said he was going back to the basic and start training like he used to train. He said in the last couple fights, he wasn't training like he used to train because of, you know, how successful he's been. You know what I mean? He was just relying on his power. You know what I'm saying? He was so confident in his power that he didn't need to train like he used to. Ashley, what's good with you, baby? Love you back. Love you back. But he said he wasn't training. Don't forget to hit the like button while y'all in here, man. I appreciate it. It helps with the visibility of the channel. Helps me get recommended in y'all streams and y'all suggested videos, man. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, man. Deontay Wilder got up in that ring, man, and they went at it. You know, Dominic Breazeale did the dumbest thing he could have did, man. He came straight at the Bronze Bomber, straight at the hardest puncher on the planet. You know, knowing you're slow, knowing you're robotic, knowing your head doesn't move at all, you come straight at the hardest puncher in the world, man, and he got caught, man. He got hurt. I seen him get hurt first. That's when Deontay Wilder got him in the corner, started wailing on him. But Dominic Breazeale, he's a big guy. You know, he could punch a little bit himself. I seen him catch Wilder with a shot, back Wilder's ass up off of him, man. Got him out of that corner, you know what I mean? But it didn't mean nothing because a couple seconds later, it was lights out. Dominic Breazeale was out, cold. You understand what I'm saying? And Wilder's popularity, man, Wilder's star power is just growing and growing and growing. If you notice, he's making all type of appearances on all type of shows. I mean, the type of shows that the great heavyweights back in the day used to be on, late night talk shows, being on sitcoms, being in movies, being on, you know, at the Final Four. You know what I'm saying? And this is what Deontay Wilder needed to do, man, to become the type of champion that he is, man. And hats off to Deontay Wilder. After the fight, you know, before the fight, you know, Breazeale said, you know, after the comments, Deontay Wilder said, you know, after he said he wanted to catch a body, Dominic Breazeale said, you know, after the fight, no matter what happens, he said he wasn't going to shake his hand. He wasn't going to go over to him. He was not going to make peace with him. But I was very impressed how, you know, after the fight, the two men, you know, they let their bygones be bygones, and they conducted themselves like real men. GMB, grown man business. Y'all know what I talk about over here. I'm on my grown man time over here. Grown man business. And that's what Deontay Wilder and Dominic Breazeale, they was on after that fight Saturday night, man. Dominic Breazeale, Deontay Wilder, they you know what I'm saying, they hugged each other. You know what I mean? Deontay Wilder told him he loved him. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, it was the fight game. The fight was over with. There's no need to have animosity. The fight is over with. You know what I'm saying? Now Dominic Breazeale can, you know, go back to doing what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that was. You know what I mean? But, you know, I got to speak on something else. Virgil Hunter. Virgil Hunter, man. Him and Freddie Roach seem to be in the same boat, man. they keep getting these, I don't want to call them rejects, man, but they keep getting these guys who, who been with a trainer and now all of a sudden they want a big name. They want to change trainers, and they keep getting these guys with losing records, man. Freddie Roach keep getting these guys who, think that Freddie's going to take him over the top, and he end up losing. Virgil Hunter, he takes on Dominic Breazeale, and I got to know that Virgil Hunter knew that Dominic Breazeale had no chance in hell to beat Deontay Wilder, especially in one training camp and in 10 weeks that they had to prepare. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the comments are saying. Lewis Coleman says that punch was on the button. Damn, he punched through Breazeale, smoked his ass like a Newport. I didn't even smoke. Wow. My man Jimmy West says Breazeale looked terrible. Did he even train for the fight? He was out of shape and didn't look like he had a game plan. Nope. Lewis Coleman says, I know Breazeale feels a certain type of way. His wife look at you like you a whole hoe at home. Man, oh man, shake my head. Man, he got to suck it up, man. He talked himself into an ass whooping. He got to suck it up, man, like a man. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to talk to Steve Gray, which I don't blame him. Steve Gray's out of pocket, man. You know what I mean? He's the modern day Larry Merchant. He's just ignorant, disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? He always talk about how, Adrian Broner don't have no class and that was classless of Steve Gray to say that while that man's here. Nobody wants to see you fight Dominic Breazeale, Adam Kornacki, and these type of guys. Nobody wants to see it. That was ignorant as hell for Steve Gray to say that. Then King Kong Ortiz, or as my man, the Boxing Block Center likes to call him, Kitty Kong Ortiz jumped in the ring. And he wants the rematch. To be perfectly honest, I don't want to see it again. I do think it's a dangerous fight for Wilder. You know what I'm saying? He already beat him once. There's no need to fight him again. There's other guys out there that you can fight. Raul Del Rio slid up in here, fam. What's going on with you, fam? I see you. Mimi Danny says one day somebody got knock Steve Gray out, man. And it could be possible, man. It could be possible. Raul Del Rio says Breazeale got knocked the fuck out. No question. Now, the big question is, yeah, King Kong did look old, man. He is old. Now, the big question is right now, is Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder, going to fight Anthony Joshua? That's the big question. Joshua got to be looking at this fight like, God damn, that was a beautiful knockout. But I know Anthony Joshua is a very skilled heavyweight, very pulverizing heavyweight, hey man, Anthony Joshua is a monster. People can dislike Anthony Joshua all they want. Like I said, big faces worldwide, I'm going to keep a G over here. Grown man Bennett's over here, man. I'm going to give AJ his props. He's a beast. He can fight, man. He can box. He know how to knuckle up, man. You understand what I'm saying? Klitschko knocked him down. He got his ass up and finished the fight and won. So that tells me that he can overcome adversity, that he has nuts, that he has kahunas, that he can win. He can dig deep, man. You know what I mean? But I gotta say, man, Deontay Wilder, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying? Some people say it's because Eddie Hearn and Joshua, they played games with them for so many months through negotiations. You know what I mean? Others would say that he's scared of Anthony Joshua. But I'm going to say this. Whatever the case may be, whatever side of the fence you may be on as to why Wilder is acting like he's acting, Deontay Wilder, who once was shouting one face, one name, one champion, he is now not pressing for the Anthony Joshua fight, in my opinion. He's talking about let it build up. He's talking about it's going to happen eventually. He's not talking about fighting him now. You know what I'm saying? And it got people concerned. It's got some guys concerned. And I'm going to call a spade, man. Like I said, there ain't no cookie cutting over here, man. I don't follow the narrative. I don't follow what these guys are saying, man. Deontay Wilder isn't acting like he's ready to jump in there right away with Anthony Joshua. And it could be for whatever reason. It could be for, they dicked him around with the negotiations. It could be for that. I don't care. Or it could be for people saying that he's kind of intimidated by Anthony Joshua. That's what some people saying. I don't care what reason it is. But the fact is, Deontay Wilder is not pressing for that fight 100%. He's not pressing for it, man. Lewis Coleman said he has to knock Joshua out cold. That's a good fight, man. That's a fight that I would want to see. You know what I'm saying? I can't count Anthony Joshua out. You know what I'm saying? He's not Dominic Breazeale. You know what I mean? He's a gold medal winner at the Olympics, man. He didn't get that. They didn't just give that to him. Anthony Joshua could fight. He's a thinker. You know what I'm saying? He's not just going to come at Deontay Wilder like Dominic Breazeale did. He's not just going to be a sitting duck like Dominic Breazeale is. Yes, he needs more head movement. Absolutely, he needs more head movement. But that could be worked on. I've seen him in some fights. In his last fight with Povetkin, I've seen him move his head more. Every fight that I've watched Anthony Joshua in, he has gotten better and better. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of Anthony Joshua, man, I am pissed off, man. I am so pissed off, man. I was so ready to go to New York City, man. I was so ready to go to New York City in a week and a half or something to cover that Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua's fight for the press. You know what I'm saying? I was so ready for it, man. You know what I'm saying? Had travel plans. Only thing I needed to do was confirm them. You know what I'm saying? But before this, before this fight, before the last couple of weeks, man, I was let known by the guy, I'm not gonna say his name, who handles the media credentials for Matchroom Boxing in the Zone. You know what I'm saying? He emailed me. He said that he got over 360 applications from media for this fight. Now the normal application, dudes, it's usually around 100. Usually around 100. You know what I'm saying? But for this fight, he got 362 submissions for media credentials. You know what I'm saying? And I was on Twitter, man. I was on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this dude's name. I watch his channel. Sometimes sometimes he's talking garbage. Sometimes he says stuff I want to hear. I was on Twitter, man. I seen the dude. T Street Controversy, man. I seen the guy, man. I've seen him. I've former DAZN events. I've seen him at a couple DAZN events where I covered his press. You know what I'm saying? I seen him on Twitter. He posted, "Oh my God, I got approved for credentials for Ruiz Joshua. This is real big for me and my family." So I'm like, damn. They finally sent the emails out. You know what I'm saying? It's time to check my email. Before I could check my email, I got a message from another colleague saying that he was denied. You know what I'm saying? Saying he was denied. So I'm like, oh damn. They sending out these they letting everybody know who's approved and who's not. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm checking my email. Okay, bam, there it go. Here go my email. And before I click on it, I say thank you. I say thank you for applying for credentials, such and such, such. So this is what they always say every time I apply. So I'm like, okay, that's a normal message. I clicked it open, man. It says, unfortunately, we have an influx of media from the UK coming over here, and we cannot accommodate everyone. Unfortunately, I am your application is not going to be successful for this fight. I hope you can apply for future events. Man, I was sick. I was pissed, man. I was ready to go up to New York, man, for like a whole week. I was going to be up there for the the training. I was going to be up there for the press conferences, for the weigh-ins. I was going to cover it all, man. You know what I'm saying? And they just let all the air out of me, man. You understand what I'm saying? But it's all good. It's business, man. It's business, man. I know I'm a small fry. I'm a small fish in a big pond, man. That's why I keep on here, and I'm going to keep grinding, man. I'm going to keep making my videos. I'm going to keep doing these live streams. I'm going to keep doing what I got to do, man, till I get to the point where they're not going to be able to deny me, man. They're going to invite me to every event that they have. You understand what I'm saying? And that's what I'm going to work to. I understand that it's business, so it's never personal, man. Lewis Coleman said T-Street is okay so far. Yeah, he's cool. I met him. You know what I'm saying? I've seen him at a couple of DAZN events. Like I said, I get approved for Tevin Farmer, Jonah Carroll. I get approved for Bivol versus Smith. I get approved for Devin Haney and, fights like that. But for the biggest fight that I wanted to be at, Anthony Joshua versus Ruiz, I get a Dear John email. But it's all good, man. The only thing I could do is lacing my boots up, man, and keep on grinding block by block, brick by brick, man. It's all good, baby. You understand what I'm saying? It's all good, man. Lewis Coleman says, you have to get bigger, brother. Don't worry. You will just remember this day, May 20th, 2019. No question, man. I use all this for motivation. You know what I'm saying? When I get a door slammed in my face, I use it as motivation. I don't take it personal. I don't hold grudges. I just use it for motivation. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm supposed to do a show with a different channel. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask the guy to do the show. The guy came to me. The guy came to me out of the blue and said, yo, man, I'm digging your channel. You know what I'm saying? Would you like to do a show? You know what I'm saying? Now, I've watched some of his videos before, you know what I'm saying? So that piqued my interest. I went over to his channel. I watched this stuff, you know what I mean? I liked his work. I see he was very professional, you know what I mean? He handled his business, you know what I'm saying? Very on his GMB, grown man business time. So I said, yeah, we could do this show. Cool, we could do this show. So we start working on ideas and stuff like this, man. And me, once I get locked in on something, man, I'm working, man. So I'm working on all type of visual effects, man. Cause y'all know, if y'all know my channel, y'all know I love to do these visual effects. I love to be different. I'm not just going to put a camera in your face and it's just going to be me on there. So I'm sending this guy different versions of this and different this, different that. I mean, I'm working, man. I'm working. You know what I'm saying? And then the problem arose where it was going to be on his channel. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be on his channel. His channel's bigger than mine. So I said, okay, it's going to be on your channel, you know what I'm saying, which is cool with me. But the question was, okay, I'm going to be on your channel. We're going to do this show. It's going to be a show that's going to be, a frequent show, a regular show. You know what I'm saying? For my contribution, for my time, I think that I deserve some type of compensation. I mean, some type of compensation for my time. I understand it's on your channel. You're, a little bit bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? He ain't a major channel, but he's a little bit bigger than me. You know what I mean? Got a bigger following than me. So I said, yeah, it's your channel, you know what I'm saying? But what are we going to do about compensation? I didn't hear nothing back from him for a while, you know what I'm saying? So, I gave him a final text. I said, listen, I ain't hear nothing back from you from my final text. I'm just trying to see what's going on so I can know how to move forward. You know what I'm saying? So he texted me back, let me know. He said, you know what, I think I'm going to go in a different direction, blase, 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 which was cool with me. That's cool. We go separate ways. You know what I'm saying? That's cool, man. I have no hard feelings with you. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to be on here. You know what I mean? I've done too much time on here for free. You know what I'm saying? I spent a whole lot of videos, whole lot of time on here not getting a cent. To this day, I have not received a cent from YouTube. Even though I'm monetized yet, I'm expecting my first payment, anytime now. But to this day, I have not received a penny off YouTube. I just do all this for the love of the sport. You understand what I'm saying? I love boxing. I love to talk boxing, especially with like-minded people that love to talk boxing with me. You understand what I'm saying? So, but it just seemed like, one side said, how we going to do the revenue thing. Like, the dude just changed up on me, man. Said he was going in a different direction. And that's cool. That's cool. I understand that. but I'm not going to do nothing for free. I wish the brother well. You know what I'm saying? I said, stay blessed, brother. He wished me well, and I hold no hard feelings, man. But I use that to say, just like in the situation where being denied credentials for one of the biggest fights is, I use that as motivation. I use that as motivation to up my game, to step my game up, man, to make myself better. That's how I've always been in everything that I've done. I've always excelled, always. Whether it was, whether it was in the street, whether it was anywhere. You ask anybody about me, I've always excelled at everything I do. Because I put my focus in it, I put my foot in it, and I make it a priority to make it successful. You understand what I'm saying? And this channel right here, Big Faces Worldwide, I'm going to make it successful. You know what I'm saying? I ride dolo from state to state. You know what I mean? I ain't asking for guys to come on here and collab. You know what I'm saying? I might do a collab here and there, but you'll rarely see one. 'Cause I stand on my own too. There's people on here who got channels who I rock with, who I love chopping it up with, and I watch their channels. Like my man Junior the Truth. Junior the Truth is one of the most solid dudes on YouTube, man. Super solid. Part of the LDBC. I rock with Junior real hard. You know what I mean? Real good dude, man. Who else? CMD Boxing Report. My man Ronell, very solid dude. You know what I mean? There's guys on here. I can keep naming a couple dudes that I got love for and I rock with that's real solid. You know what I'm saying? But with that said, I don't have to be a part of your group to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? I like a lot of dudes in the LDBC. LDBC is doing a goddamn thing. No question about it. You know what I'm saying? More power to them. You know what I mean? That's their thing. I'm impressed. You understand? What's up with this chat, man? My man Clabbo 100 says, who you like out of that Brandon Adams Charlo fight? What's the date on that fight? Hey man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Charlo gonna hurt that boy. That fight ain't going past 6 rounds. I'm sorry, man. That fight ain't going past 6 rounds, man. Charlo's on a different level, man. Brandon Adams is good. You know what I'm saying? I watched him in the contender. I watched him before the contender. I've seen him get knocked out by lesser guys than Charlo. Charlo's an elite fighter. Charlo's at the, he's at the top. He's a couple steps above Brandon Adams, man. And this right here is just a showcase fight for Charlo, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a showcase fight for Charlo. I know you was at the contender. I know Brandon Adams looked good. You know what I'm saying? I know that. You know what I mean? But what I'm saying is, in my opinion, Charlo's he's just a couple notches above Brandon Adams. No disrespect to Brandon Adams. You know what I'm saying? He may have got better. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a more competitive fight than I'm thinking. But right now, me remembering the Brandon Adams that I have watched, the fights that I have watched him in, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's on the Charlo level, man. And I see Charlo stopping him within 6 rounds. You understand what I'm saying? I forget the date of that, man. I think it's June. It's in June, man. It's in June. The last week in June. I think his little brother's fight is the 23rd. I think his is the following Saturday. Something like that, man. Lewis Coleman says he's trying to use you, sir. Yeah, I don't even, you know what I mean? I didn't want to say that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to say he's trying to use me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to just leave that alone, man. Because the dude, you know what I mean? He's a cool dude. He's respectful, you know what I'm saying? I'll still check his channel out, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, I didn't understand that, man. And I put in some work. I put in some work for that, too. You know what I'm saying? I was putting in work for that, man. But it's all good, man. Lewis Coleman says, Travity is cool. I didn't understand that, fam. He said, I'll say it for you. Hey, it's all good, fam. It's all good, man. But listen, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in, man. The Big Faces Worldwide. This is the final round, man. Make sure y'all be here because I'm going to be here every single Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're going to talk about the fights over the past weekend. We're going to talk about the latest and biggest headlines in the sport of boxing. It's a channel name, Travity. I ain't hip to him. I'm going to have to check him out. As soon as I get off here, I'm going to check him out, man. There's so many channels that I come across that been on here for a long time that I didn't even know about. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't even know about. And I find myself subbing to dudes who I didn't know about who be spitting that fire. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I be like, God damn, I be looking for content so much, man. You get tired of hearing the same old shit every single day, man. And you look for something new. You know what I'm saying? I get to the point where I come on YouTube and I'm trying to find some content to listen to, and I gotta listen to my own videos. You know what I mean? I gotta listen to my own videos to be entertained, man. Oh yeah, main man. I like dude from DC. Yes, dude. I like dude. He got his own style, man. He stands on his own, man, and he does his thing. Yeah, I like dude. Dude got a decent channel. You know what I'm saying? But that other dude, Travity, I ain't check him out, but I'm going to check him out also, man. And one thing for sure, I ain't got no problem with shouting a dude out on this channel. No problem at all, man. You know, I don't got no problem shouting dudes out, man. You know, it's all love, man. We all on here grinding. We all on here for the love of boxing, man. But listen, I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate y'all all tuning in. We had a good time, man. I appreciate y'all comments, man. You know, and it is what it is, man. In the meantime and in between time, I want y'all to stay blessed and keep on supporting this sport that we love called boxing.